Hi everybody, I'm Justin Derrico, and I'm here to show you how this Paul Reed Smith amp, I'm going to pull some tones out of this bad boy. It's the HX50. It's modeled after one of Hendrix's actual Marshalls. So obviously it's a Marshall style amp. And I'm going to pull some sounds out of it, not Hendrix sounds necessarily, but because we know it does that, right? So I'm going to do like an Eric Johnson type thing. So I've got a tone dialed in right now, and I'll show you guys a close-up. But right now I've got the presence at right around 2, the bass right around 2, the middle's at 4. This dip switch is like a high mid boost. I've got it up, and I've got the treble at 4. I got the treble volume all the way up, and the bass volume all the way up. Almost, actually, it's just below 10. But and I've got this dip switch here all the way up, which is a bright switch. Because the tone's pretty dark. You know what I mean? Right, so that's sort of my starting point, but I've got a couple pedals here that I'm going to add in. I've got a BK Butler tube driver, which is, you know, Eric Johnson's famous for using that. I guess that's a big part of his sound. And I've got a Wampler Ego compressor, and just to kind of give me that attack. And I'm also going to add some delay here. I know I'm coloring it quite a bit, but you know, in order to sort of get these sounds, you know, we need these pedals, and it's also a cool way to show you how the amp takes pedals and plugins, I guess. So right now I've got an Echoplex dialed in already, and yeah, so this is that's what that sounds like. Right, so that's the sound so far. That's our starting point. I'm gonna add in the tube driver. So that's already pretty Eric Johnson-y, you know. So we got that going for us. When I add the compressor in, this is going to give it a little bit more of that attack. So that's basically it. You know, it's not going to make you play like Eric Johnson. I mean, I could kind of try, but I don't really quite have his amazing talent. So, and I'm using the Silver Sky, obviously, and for the mic that I'm using, it's a SM57, and it's just slightly like, say the cone is here, and it's just kind of pointed right there. You know, it's close, and my cabinet's in an ISO box, and I'm using a 112 Celestion V30. And yeah, that's what you're hearing. So, and it's a 16 ohm cabinet, in case you care. This next tone setting that I'm going to do is probably the king of all tones. So please be nice in the comments, because yeah, I'm sure I'll get berated. But it is what it is, man. You know, I'm just trying to get close, the essence of these guys, you know. But anyways, I'm going to try to get a Stevie Ray Vaughan tone from Scuttlebutton. So anyways, got the Silver Sky here, and I've got again, I'm going to add a pedal in there, but I'll show you how this how the amp sounds without the pedal, and then I'll add that in. But anyways, so we'll talk about this real quick. I've kind of cranked the presence up to 10 here, maybe a little bit much, but we'll play with it a little bit. I've got the bass at 4. I've got the middle cranked as well, plus this thing's all the way up. Kind of actually a lot opposite from what we had going on with the Eric Johnson thing. So yeah, the middle's on, it's just a little bit past 8. The high mid thing's up again. The treble's up at I'd say 7, and this the treble volume's up around 4. I mean, I might crank it a little bit. I know Stevie loved to be loud, right? You know, he wanted, from what I understand, you know, everybody's chasing after Stevie's tone for all these years, so what do I know? But I know that he liked to crank it, you know, but have a very loud sound. I think he used you know, his Marshall style amp was like a very clean 100-watt Marshall amp. I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but you know, so I've heard. And anyways, he would crank it, and you know, it was still pretty clean. This thing, if you crank it, it's gonna break up the amp a little too much. So I left that back, and then the bass volume's down a little bit because it was adding a little bit too much low end when I was trying to dial it in. And I took the bright switch, it's in the middle, because you have like off, bright 1, and bright 2. So I'm on bright 1, and that's where I'm at. So here's without, I was gonna add a tube screamer. The Ibanez, the old trusty tube screamer, which, by the way, any Marshall style amp and a tube screamer is always a win for lead sounds, I think. You know, right now, the way I've got the tube screamer set up, I've got the level cranked. And I've got the gain almost at 0. I mean, maybe it's actually, I should look at it. I think it's actually like probably like 1, just a little bit of gain, but it's mostly just pushing the front end of the amp. And then the tone, I think, is just in the middle. So anyway, so here's without the tube screamer, right? So. Right? That sounds pretty good. And this tube screamer might add a little bit more gain than I really want. But it gives it that mid-range honky thing. And again, I'm on this second pickup. I couldn't really tell. I'm going back and forth between this and this, because it's really kind of bitey and poking out, and there's a live recording that I'm taking it from, so you know, it's somewhere in the ballpark. It's one of those. This on its own, to me, sounds pretty good, but I think when the band kicks in, it's pretty badass. So here's the the Tube Screamer. Yeah, kind of messed that up a little bit, but that's okay. That's not the point here. Anyways, that's a really cool. That's a really cool sound. It's very Stevie. And then when you pull it back, still sounds good. And again, you know, this it's not gonna make you play like Stevie because he's, you know, who's better than Stevie. But it's close again, and like I said, I'm trying to capture just sort of the essence. You know, especially like a lot of what I do on the voices, I'm always trying to get close to the sounds. You know, there's only so much you can do to get to it. I mean, at the end of the day, you sound the way you sound. You'll always sound the way you sound, and that's kind of the beauty of it, right? And that's why what makes Stevie and Eric Johnson so unique and amazing, is that they have amazing sounding hands and they're just straight up badasses. So, and that's why we're copying their sounds, because they're bad as shit. So, anyways, awesome. Thank you guys.